Hey, Good Fox here. So today we're going to go through my defensive scheme. Now, you've seen a lot of videos on my channel talking about offense and how to score points because I feel in Madden 17 it's much harder to drive the ball, and I focused a lot of my time and effort on ways to drive that, and it feels a lot harder to me, but my defense has played and kept me in most of the games that I've played. Today I'm just going to go through. So if you're struggling on defense, maybe, take a listen to what I go through. This is how I adjust to every single set they throw at me. Sometimes they're going to throw stuff at you that you haven't seen before, so you just hope and pray and do some cross-manning and stuff. Anyways, first off, we'll get to if they come out, first play of the game, say in a pro set, a heavy two running back, two wide receiver, or just a two wide receiver set at all. So they come out, maybe something like a power O or something they come out in. First play of the game, I always come out so that way I don't get fooled or anything. And a cover 4, and it's a cover 4 drop show 2. And what I like about this is that it controls the running lanes. As if you hit left and right on your right thumbstick, it shows you where the run fits are going to be. So sometimes you can run them up a little bit, get some better contain on the outside and stuff like that, and then you can spread your linebackers for some contain too if you expect them to run like a stretch play or something. But this is how I like to play first play, because if they come out running hard, then you want to be able to shut it down. This shuts down the run very nicely. And for these linemen and everything to shut down the run, block shed, invest in block shed. I'll say it again, invest in block shed on your defensive front. All right, so say he goes power O, then you just kind of hit there and try to fill that gap right there. So power O is a pretty good run play, but you can always crunch down. So anyways, that's it for this set. I don't really like this if they're in a 3 wide. I don't sit in this much. I maybe call this a few times a game. If they run heavy, I call it a lot more. But just kind of move the safeties up to get better coverage, because then they can also cover over the top too. I like to put those guys in cloud flats by hitting Y down, Y up in order to put them, because I like them better than the purple routes here in the cover 4. So that's it right away. It's very run heavy. Only come out in it if they're in 2 running backs. You can come out in more frequently, but that is first one I want to go through. And the other run defense, if they come out in something heavy like that too, say they come out in another, say a little later in the game, say they come out in single back ace or something, 2 wide receivers still, and then they're going to run, usually it's sometimes some types of stretch or even a dive too. But say they come out and stretch. This is my main run defense and what I'm in a lot of the game. It's the 4-4 split. And sorry, I should have said this. I'm in the Baltimore playbook. I also like the Bills playbook, but I'm in the Baltimore now, and you'll see why, because of the 3-3-5. But cover 2 invert, I'm in that a lot. And it is a very solid play, but what I like to do is spread my linebackers again to kind of control that edge. I like sometimes to have these middle linebackers a little closer so they can help support the different sides. And then I usually use this safety here. And you can do a lot of things out of this. So if they stretch the ball, your wide linebackers hopefully will force them inside, and then your pursuit will get them. And it's good to have. You need a really good user kind of to read. Always look at where the guards and the offensive linemen are doing what they're doing. So if they go right, then you got to know. All right, so look at those guards. They went right. You got to go right. So look, you had that's my controller on the desk. Making a lot of noise. I'll try to put it on something soft so it doesn't vibrate so loud next to the mic. Anyways, also this is a great goal line defense, so this is what I use on the goal line. We'll just run a midfield goal line play. This is great for that situation. There's a ton of situations I'm going to go through. I'm sorry for the long video, but let's say a QB sneak. This is a great QB sneak defense, probably the best goal line defense in the game. You see a ton of people running this, but I like to pinch my defensive lineman, and then sometimes I'll put this linebacker on a blitz. And then what I'll do is user web right here. So just put them right here. I like to hold right trigger. And then as soon as they snap the ball, just boom, hit them. Hit X on Xbox, the hit stick button. So they don't get any yards. Down, don't just pinch, don't crash. And sometimes I like to do him because that helps against the fullback dive. It usually gets this guy free. So there's that. We can do it again. I'll just show you. When they hike it, you hit the... I didn't do it right, but anyways, you get the idea. You got to basically time it, because I only got one hand. I can't really put it on both. But so that's that. And then what's great about this, base the line, pinch. Your linebackers, you can spread them even if you want, if you think they're going to stretch it. But otherwise, that's the adjustment for the goal line. And then these things kind of, you just lurk underneath if they throw the ball and try to pick a drag or a trail route type of pass. They oftentimes throw a high pass to the back of the end zone, and those are harder to defend. You just kind of got to hit the guy. Hopefully the ball pops out. All right, moving on to the next formation, 4-4. So I'll say I'm in the 4-4. It looks like it breaks it down for me. I'm in the 44, 32% of the time. If you like the 4-3, this is why I initially switched to the Bills and the Ravens playbook. It's this over Ed. If you like the 4-3, you like running the 4-3. This has a 3-4, but a 4-3 like. So like it's middle linebacker. There's the right outside linebacker. So you want like a Suggs type's perfect there. Williams perfect. Jernigan got good run stuffing block shed. And then obviously your cover linebackers here, and then Lawrence out there on the edge. So that's something I've gotten away from the 4-3 though because it's just not effective this year. Something I ran almost exclusively last year. All right, the nickel is another one I put a lot of time in. Obviously, you see it says a third of the time, a third of the games, third of the plays I'm in this. If they come out and say a formation with 3 receivers, anything with 3 receivers, I come out in a nickel formation. I want to match my defensive backs to the number of receivers on the field. So my main go-to play out of this is the Tampa 2. And I'm going to call that and then say they'll call a, we'll just do a PA Stealer. So what I like to do, base the line, I press, QB contain, and depending, a lot of guys come out of the shotgun, and they have the shotgun, say, to with their halfbacks to the right of the quarterback here. So let's see if we can't, yeah, gun, let's try this. And it's like an inside zone type deal. So usually I have auto flip on for my defense. So this is what it will look like if they come out like this. Oh, geez. Because Madden's unable to do re-blitzing. This is bad. Usually auto flip. Anyways, we'll just pretend like it's... Here, watch this. There we go. All right, so this is like they come out with the auto flip on. So then I QB contain. This actually nickel should be on the contain normally. I slant right, push him that way, and then I take this middle linebacker and I use him here. So you should be able to get some pretty decent edge pressure with the QB contain and everything. And then it's not showing right there, but this is how it's run. And then like if they'll run an inside zone into the teeth of your defense, see how you guys are slanting that way. So that's kind of what the benefit of. So like if you're hitting here and he goes inside zone. Oh, no, it ended up being a pass. Anyways, that's the edge pressure, too, that you get out of this. Too. If they block a running back, it's not as effective. But then again, you have more guys in coverage than they have running routes. But that's it. I mean, so there's this one. So it brings pretty good edge pressure. And then if I really want to up the edge pressure, like say they're blocking it pretty good, but he's still taking a little bit of time in the pocket, what I'll do is this 3-3-5. I'll get into this loop crash 2. So I'm sending 2 guys off the edge here. And what's good about this is that you don't have to do the shift over for your linemen, so you're kind of more balanced there. But say we get into the let's go, I guess, just go to trio and then do, I don't know, Steelers dig. There you go. Pinch. So now here's your defense. It's going to get pressure home very quickly because you got 2 guys coming off the edge. And really these wide blitzers are the meta of Madden. Because they come in just about untouched. So let's go like this. Boom. So he came in untouched because the tackle had to pick up the other blitzer. So that is the quick edge pressure out of the 3-3-5. I run a lot. Obviously, there's other things here. You can switch to the cover 3 sky drop. I don't love cover 3 as much this year as cover 2. I will run it occasionally if they know how to beat a cover 2 really easy. A lot of guys know how to beat a cover 2. But you can just about stay in Tampa 2 if people know how to defeat it. And the thing about the Tampa 2 is there's a lot of like Z routes, post routes this year. So let's get into, I guess let's show it against the popular formation, split close first. With their popular plays are this halfback wheel and this PAF slide. PAF slide, because I come out expecting halfback wheel, I get thrown by a loop from PAF slide frequently. But you see that post route on a halfback wheel? As a user in the middle of a Tampa 2 defense, and just in general, always be aware of post routes. Any skinny post is very deadly in Madden, if not usered. So always bait low, go high. or bait low and go get high. Either one of those. So Tampa 2 against halfback wheel. See, look, this guy right here is going to get a post route, and that's what you want to do. So usually the setup's like this, Coats. So what you want to do, and this easily shuts down this play if you're having trouble with it against online. Watch them run it. You use this one, and then you zoom up here. You can even zoom up beforehand because you might have been able to dot that over your head. But you want somebody fast. Mosley's a little slow. Let's see it again. So here it is. Run it. You watch him. You carry him, and then you go up. And usually with somebody tall like Urlacher, you can generally get to that and pick it. And they will see it open, and then you shut it at the last second. So that play is basically dead with a good user because you basically grab those 2 routes and shut them down. You grab one, you wait for it, you get it, pass it off to this zone guy right here, and then you go up and you take away the deep zone cut in between your 2 safeties, and you get a pick and a turnover, and the momentum of the game switches to your side. All right, so next, I think we have a lot of trouble. Let's try Z routes. Wrong one. Offset weak, Y trip. 4 verticals. 4 verticals obviously gives cover 2 issues. This one's not so bad against 4 verticals. Usually because if you're blitzing off the edge, that vertical will be able to get open. So like I said before, you don't even really need to make too many adjustments. Because I could say you can do this against 4 verticals, but you don't know they're always going to run 4 verticals. What I like with this, even if you pass commit, it helps. But for verticals, you want to take away the green route. You could even, you can even use your sugs over here too. If you know they're running 4 verticals, put him on green there, man him up, and then you can even man up Doomerville on Bell. And then look at, you just basically got to watch out for Coates. So watch this go. See, Coates was open there in the seam, and oftentimes they will quick throw that seam. So if they do that once, if they see it once, they see that vertical, then you kind of come over here and you set up the same way as before. You can cross route. You don't have to do this against 4 verticals. It helps a lot to shut them down. But so if you're here, and then right when they snap it, take off for that right here. Oh, geez, he's slow as molasses. But anyways, yeah. So you bring the pressure fast against 4 verticals, and you try to basically jump in front of the 4 vertical lane with a tall, like Anthony Barr or Lacquer type, and I've gotten quite a few pickoffs that way, where they say, oh, this guy's a snap throw, quick open, and then you just take away their dreams, like some sort of dream catcher or Freddy Krueger or something like that. All right, so that's a lot of the adjustments. There's a lot of plays. Again, skinny post. I said Z routes earlier. Let's keep going. Let's keep looking for Z routes here. Maybe I'll just, I think Gun Bunch PA post doesn't have one, but this doesn't have a Z route, but it's a very popular play. Like a lot of people will drag green here, and Coates gets open deep. So what I found, and sometimes they'll like, I'll put him there or do a lot of things like that. I like to let them catch the ball in the flats, and then you just get a big hitter corner like Night Train Lane or something like that to just try to jar that ball loose. But Green and Rogers coming across the middle, you kind of got to let them go and try to get a big hit on them. Those 3-yard routes, you'll force a fumble during a game on them if you can master your hit sticks. But anyways, let's play against it. So what's great about these is you just kind of gotta bait them. You can even shade underneath, but I don't recommend shading underneath against a bunch set like this because they can attack you over the top with a corner route or something. All right, so we'll run the play just like it is. Cover that, drag, and then go up to this post route right there, and they'll probably throw it off to the drag for a couple yards, and that's okay. You'll take that. If you really want to delete that drag, let's motion over to Bunch again. If you really want to get rid of that drag, a great way of doing it, like I said before, crossman, you can even put a lineman on it. There it is. Because usually they will drag the green route. And so now you got a lineman matched up against green. It's not going to be great, but look at how much coverage you have over the top. So there's that. You got to obviously do that adjustment after slanting your guys, but okay. So it was pretty good, especially if you got a fast lineman. You can also put your right outside linebacker on that crossing man. I like a lot of these plays. A lot of times you'll run against guys running bench or something. Let me find a bench concept here in this Steelers book. I should have just ran Cleveland's book. Let's see if there's a... Not as familiar with the Steelers book as I am with others. Snugs, there's probably a bench concept. A lot of people run this bench concept right here. And what you want to do out of the 3-3-5, if you're running the Tampa 2 press. I mean, what's great about this Tampa 2 also is that you don't have to blitz this guy. You can just rush 3. You can man him up on, say, a receiver on the left, and then man up this guy on the right, or guy, and you only rush 2, like D. Jones. But generally, I like the blitz. So this one's, it's not great here because he's blitzing the weak side, and the inside zone comes in here, which is to your weak side, and you don't have the numbers. So against something like this, I won't shift my lineman. I'll maybe bring him down, crash him all the way down to make him more in the gaps here to shut down the inside zone, and hopefully user enough. Run through your run fit. Run fit looks terrible there. That's a bad looking run fit. Anyways, because I'm looking right, and there's a lot of space over here. Run fits, EA needs to work on run fits next year, but that's just besides that. So anyways, out of this, they're running a bench concept. And if they beat you with a bench, what you just do is shade underneath, so you get hard flats there to stop that underneath bench, and then just put them into curl flats, A and then X. Or you can do right bumper, A, and then curl flat corner. So boom, this bench is just going to get shut down. You obviously don't know they're coming with the bench, but you got to patrol here in the middle. Don't let up those deep posts. You'll see a lot of deep posts still out of this Snugs formation. So watch this. Okay, nobody's going to the deep post. Just watch it. Look at everything. Nope, everything wasn't covered. That bench to the... I must have hit the wrong button. That wouldn't be too new for me. No, that guy was wide open. That usually doesn't happen. I think it may be because Suggs doesn't have... Huh. Curl flat. That is kind of weird. Suggs did not play that zone correctly. That I've never seen that before. I wonder if that's... Huh. Because he has low zone coverage. That kind of confuses me here. I might have to go back into testing with zone coverage now, because that changes from what my initial finding with zone coverage was. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about defense here. All right, so the 3-3-5 is very adjustable. I like that edge pressure it brings you. But otherwise, the rest of these plays in the book, cover 2 man. I don't love having the linebackers manned up on people. Generally, I'll switch to like a big dime when I'm manning people up like that. The 2-4-5 is great for the buck slant. That's something. It's base a line, contain, then crash your line towards the slant, and then you can user off of that. Nickel blitz, another edge blitz that I like. You're sending 5 there. Setups very similar to the 3-3-5. I don't think any corner blitz sometimes is okay to send if you want to cover 3. Cover or these. What I like about this nickel 2-4-5 are these Mabel formations, where basically if they come out in trips or 3 receivers one side, then you have an over and under route right there. You don't have to hot route that yourself like I just did in those last plays. So that Mabel is very powerful against some of those out routes and whatnot and those flood concepts. Cover 2 carry is decent if you're expecting some verticals, but I think you can do other things against it. Cover 2 carry actually is pretty decent against that kind of defense. I don't call it a ton. Yeah, I've called it 3 times. Not very useful in my opinion. 3-5 wide. This is that dude slide defense. He loves these cover 3 buzz, and then you man up that blitzing guy and another guy across. You kind of just confuse them that way. So yeah, manning up random guys is a very big strategy in Madden. I mean, even you can even run like this Mike Blitz. Now watch this. Something that's kind of come up frequently. So if they run like Mike Blitz, and then they run, I don't know, let's find a unique different play. All right, let's do like strong flood. All right, so you see all these guys are manned up on them, and you have all these blitzing dudes. Well, just put him here, there, there, there. So now you have like a user here, and then you got both those cloud flats covered, because in like Madden a lot, those guys aren't very, the wide receiver and the DBs don't have difference, except for like Cooks, who's got 93 speed. The wide receivers can keep up with the DBs can keep up with the wide receivers on streaks, but those breaking routes that people usually have trouble with. So like against this kind of thing, this is exotic. So you're rushing 3 only. Looks like you're rushing a ton on the play art, but you kind of cover these guys right here, and then right there, and get the pressure home, hopefully. So it's the breaking routes that you kind of cover in the middle. Try to get a user pick out of them, but those outs are covered by the guys that you audible out there, and that kind of stuff. You can do kind of stuff like this, even. So yeah, it's stuff like this with the manned up and underneath. So you got a lot of. He'll have a lot of time in the pocket, but you're gonna have a ton of guys in coverage underneath. So rushing 3 is probably better, because we all know rushing 3 is as good as rushing 4, right? Unless you get some sort of blitz off the edge. But other blitzes I like to run that I've had some success with, but that guys are starting to tear up a little bit more. This big dime has got a few. It's got obviously Mabel here is again very good. You see this online all the time. Like for, I don't know, a couple weeks there, almost every single one of my opponents was running Slant Zone 2 or Cover 3 Bluff. So you find out the setup. I'll call Slant Zone, and we'll just come out into split close, and we'll do halfback wheel. So this are like the base align, QB contain. I actually don't remember the setup as well. I don't run it as much anymore. Then you can put these guys different places. You can man them up against different people, and then you use it here. Something like this. It's exposed to this quick shot route. You can even and then user this safety coming off the weak side, because you're flooding the left side of the line. So you're sending a lot of weak blitzes. The strong side's very there. And then you just kind of user and roam around. So like that. Pass them off, and hopefully the pressure gets home with a good overload there on the left side of the screen. And then the blitz, so that's one that you kind of want to adjust and make them make quick reads once you get your good pressure in. And then the Cover 3 Bluff, I don't really see this as much online. Let's go again against gun set with say trips halfback weak. We can do it against a 4 verticals, usually beats 3 deep, or it did in 16. There, base align, crash them to the left or to the way the blitzer's coming. I have my auto flip on, so there you go. There's this one, and then you got to cover, and then hopefully. Whoop! I accidentally hit the right thumbstick. But anyways, the halfback blocked. He cut down our cornerback before going out on his route, so it would have been very effective. You can make matchups. See how that running back takes him, and then now he's off his route, and now he gets through. Like, there was nobody open there. So that's that blitz. It's pretty easy. Base a line, slant your line towards the blitz, and then mess with people around by putting them into different zones. All right, next, we're getting into some more heat out of here. A lot of people like this out of the dollar. It's probably better out of the dollar than it is out of the big dime 236 will. But that's where we're going to run it out of 236 will. This is the one I like to go into cover 2 man, but then put a corner here on Elam and sub out the strong safety there and put Arrington or something like that. Arrington's a decent corner, and Mutt, his award winner, is a very good corner for a nickel and dime. So DB Fire 2. A similar thing here. You want to overload one side of the offensive line. So we'll just doubles, and then we'll do X under. So QB contain, and depending on what side I want to send it from, I think this time let's send it from the left. So slant your line, you can blitz him, and maybe something like that. There you got that side of the thing covered. Or even better, man him up on Rodgers. You could even man him up on Rodgers and then user Arrington. You could put him into a hook, curl hook, or usually if you keep him on this little guy, if the guy rolls out, your opponent will roll out right. Then you can just kind of click down and get the attack once he breaks that tackle. It's like this. Oh, yeah. So there got through. If I would have used it, if I wasn't looking at where the blitz was coming. So yeah, you can send it off again, and then you definitely want to take these guys off because they're not needed. So there you go. Have some fun with it. Oops. Keep hitting right stick. So there it is. Pretty good. That obviously that cover 2 can get beat right over the cornerbacks and below the safeties. You see a lot of people beat cover 2 that way with those quick passes, or those not quick passes, but between those zones passes. All right, 0 blitz again. Same thing as before. Just put these guys onto random routes, random things as you run the 0 blitz, because the man coverage is pretty good. There you go. All right, so that is good for there. Cover 3 drop if you want to play max coverage. This has got a Mabel here on the left side of your screen. Very good. Cover 2 sink. Whoa, a lot of messed up plays. And then man. Like I said, I like man out of this. Press them, shade them inside, outside, wherever you think they're going. And then use it in the middle with this guy. And hopefully your 3-man pass rush will get home. It doesn't. Hopefully you can pick off a ball then. But man's kind of self-explanatory. You can always change up the men. Watch out for quick hikers, of course. If you're worried about crossing patterns, just cross man them. But yeah, a lot of adjustments getting down. It's not too tough as soon as you start recognizing plays over and over again that opponents will run on you. Quarter 3 deep, man up 3 deep. I don't see it as much this year. I've heard a couple people running it, but again, not as much. The 2-3-6 will, a lot like Dollar. Like I said, you can do this edge blitz. You can do some overloads. I mean, this edge blitz 2 here, it's basically the same. Just overload one side of the defense and hope the offensive line doesn't kick it up. But the ones I showed you are the better setups. Cover 3 match. Match system means if it's a spread look, they're gonna kind of match the receiver if they go the right routes. They won't match them on drags or stuff like that. But yeah, that's generally my entire defense that I run. Hopefully it was helpful. A lot of user just recognizing where they're going to run, crossing patterns and whatnot. And that is it. Thanks for watching. Call to action. I will see you tomorrow.